I'm going to have to ask y'all to be patient, old Passuh. Show him a little grace. Today's sermon might ruffle a few feathers. Some of the words I'm using might feel a little crass, a little cruel. To the mother ball, to the deacon ball, and all the elders, I ask that you not charge this to my heart and my brain. Spirit just moved me in a certain way. That's all right. That's all right. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray with me. Today's message will be coming from the book of life, chapter me. Shakespeare was a cold motherfucker. That is, if he was black, if he was gay, if he was evil, if he was real even, that motherfucker was a cold motherfucker. Now don't get too old with me now. I already asked you to pray with me. I want you to follow me now. See, he had this line about a rose by any other name smelling just as sweet. See, it resonates. It stings. It suggests that we can rename ourselves. That others can't define who we are. You know, come to think of it, I think he must have been black. And that nigga is a rose. But there's the rub. Because our 20th century poet laureate, Mr. Andre Lauren Benjamin, aka Priestess, famously reminded us that roses
smell like boo-boo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Somebody say, what you talking about, Pastor?
What you talking about, Pastor?
I'm talking about me. I have seen the sins of my father, and as a father, I have passed those sins down to my own children. It hurts when everything feels like it's your fault. It hit me like a sound of thunder, church. She changed my children's name. She changed all their names. They had to match her new identity, her new image, her new imagined concept of God and of blackness. And in that moment right there, I began to understand Obi Okonkwo. He's this African in this book I read. Because that's where things fall apart. See that boy, that oldest boy, he was named after the greatest revolutionary the world had ever seen. And his brother after that man's mentor. And his sister was named after the poet whose art would define the Black Arts movement. Church, I'm going to need y'all to give me a moment. You need to have a moment of silence for Nikki G. She done gone up yonder. She's an ancestor. Now somebody might say, what's in the name? Sheep. Everything, if you ask me. Because much like the minister, my son done found himself locked up.
But not locked
Just
down.
don't you say he locked down. You see, I think it's something like an identity crisis. Having to redefine himself after just coming to know who he was, how he was called, of his roses and his shit, to be tossed into some untended garden, to be trampled and neglected. But she had other thorns to attend to. She had daisies and lilacs and all other sorts of perennials that required her attention, and he almost forgot his name. Now, the word would tell us that this is just the sins of the father being revisited upon generations.
Right there.
That he is just collateral damage in some genetic war. But what, dear friends, of the sins of the father being revisited upon the father himself? You see, they tell us that genes can be recessive and that they can skip generations. Pass it already. That's the idea on twins, you know, that they skip a generation. Can sin skip? And if they can, and if they do, what is to be said of the man essentially trapped between the sins of his father and their manifestations in his own son? Oh, church, I gotta be selfish right now. Where is the reprieve for me? Where is the compassion for the panther trapped between king and the crips? The panther whose absence, albeit perfumed with revolution, leaves a young disruptor to search for oneness with any organization that seems to reflect his imagined view of his father. Well, I tell you, dear father, dear son, we are one. There is no division. There is no split decision. All are either guilty or innocent in life's inquisition. And you can call that rose by any other name. Any other name that you want.
It still smell like boo.
Sweet. It's gonna have thorns, and it's still gonna smell like boo. But your folk ain't no worse than mine. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
Your folk.
Your folk
Ain't no worse than mine.
ain't no worse than mine.
See, listen. The sins of the father, they may trickle down. So,
The mine's really not worth
less. And let the church say, big I man,
Big eye man,
big I shame.
big eye shay.